You should amputate your leg. Why? Let's talk science. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Science, the show where I take your suggestions on scientific subjects and talk about them a little bit to try answering questions you might have. Now today's topic is on prosthetics. Now prosthetics are artificial limbs you can have to replace either non-existing limbs or non-operational limbs. So if you have an arm that no longer works, you can have it replaced with a prosthetic arm. Or if you lose a leg, you can have it replaced with a prosthetic leg. Now, prosthetics have been used for a very, very long time. The earliest models of prosthetics date all the way back to Egypt, and archaeologists actually found a prosthetic toe in Egyptian tombs that was actually fully operational. Now, a long time ago, prosthetics used to just be a bone or a stick or whatever they could find to be a replacement. They just carve it into a limb and they could use it as a limb. It's not very useful, like a pirate with a peg leg. It's not the most efficient, but it takes the place of a limb, I guess. But since the Renaissance to now, there's been a lot of advancements in prosthetics. And a lot of them are very impressive. They have different mechanics that can help prosthetics move easier. They have different ways to make prosthetics look more realistic. They have a lot of different advancements in prosthetics to make it a lot more realistic and a lot more efficient to use. I'll be going over those later in the video. Now, prosthetics can be used for different things. There are prosthetics used for capability of movement, there are prosthetics used for appearance, there are prosthetics used for enhancement on ability, and there's also prosthetics used for military. Now, enhancement and military kind of go hand in hand. Now, like I said, there are different forms of prosthetics. There are some that only are good for looking, like they can't move at all, they're supposed to look real. There are others that are only good for capability, like they don't look very realistic, they look like a robot hand, but they're good for movement. There are some that military uses are they're using just because it's really good on enhancing your skills and a certain ability. So it can make you move faster, have higher endurance, increase strength, jump higher, just different stuff like that. Now, as for these different forms of prosthetics, there's cosmesis, which actually is just a replacement limb that actually can't move. Like, have you ever seen the movie Happy Gilmore? Well, there's a man in there that has a fake hand that can't move at all. It's just an appearance hand, just so it kind of looks like he has a hand, but he really doesn't. Um, Cosmesis can also be skin that they fake skin, by the way, that they put over a real prosthetic that actually does work, just to make it look more realistic. It's basically just to try and make the prosthetic look a little bit more like a real limb. And then there's of course prosthetics that actually do move. They're not fake, and there's not a technical name for them. They just kind of there's different forms. There's the hook prosthetic, where it's if you ever saw like pirates, they have hooks, or regular people, they have maybe these hooks that usually has two hooks, and it can't move a whole lot, but it's just good. It's kind of like a secondary hand. Later on, they actually developed a full-on hand with 5 fingers that can actually move and stuff like that. But there's different ways to run prosthetics as well. Now, they can be run off of switches. They can be run off of, actually you can connect several joints to the same switch. So if you have one switch right here that connects to this joint and all your finger joints, you can switch it on, they all go like that. Or you can like switch off and they'll all turn off and just not move. So, yeah, so they can all run off of one source, and or they can all run off of individual sources. Now, there's also running prosthetics off of electricity. Yeah, you can run them off of muscle electricity, so when you contract your muscles, it can set off an electrical signal that makes your entire hand move. And there's also brainwave electricity, which they recently started doing developments in brainwave transmission, which I don't know why they didn't realize this before. I realized this for a long time, but your brain waves, when your brain thinks or develops ideas, or not ideas, but like when it sends signals to your nerves to move, it sends electrical signals. So this electrical signal can transmit through your nerves, and even if you lost your nerves, you can connect it to a certain type of wire that can transmit the electrical signal. So you can just connect your nerves to your prosthetic arm, for example, and when you think, it'll just move like a regular hand would. So I don't know why they didn't develop that before, but they're starting to do research in it, and I'm happy they are, because that's very useful. Also, when a prosthetic is run off of an electrical source, such as a motor, your brainwaves, or even a muscle contraction, it's known as a myoelectric prosthetic. And myoelectric prosthetics are a lot more efficient. They're becoming a lot more popular these days just because they're easier to use and they require less power and manual labor. You just have to, basically, if you run them off of brainwaves, you just have to think and it moves. Muscle contraction, you have to move your arm and it moves. Or you can move another limb that's connected to your arm, or whatever prosthetic you're using. I'm just using the arm for example. And motors are a little bit different, but I'm not going to go over that much. But yeah, there are different forms to run prosthetics, like I mentioned before. There's motors, there's switches, there's electrical signals, either from brainwaves or from muscle contraction. But all these different ways basically do the same thing, just in different variations. Like your brainwaves might be the fastest to move it, but it won't be as fast as a regular hand. So this one might move like this, well, your other hand be like this. Just because your brainwave doesn't work as fast as it does on this hand as it does in this hand. So, yeah, but switches might not work as fast either. So if you can switch the switch, it'll just like, it might move a little bit, but it'll never be as fast as this hand. Just because that's just how it is. It's naturally slow. Prosthetics can't keep up with regular body. Now, prosthetics also have a major role in military use. Now, of course, as we all know, soldiers get their limbs blown off all the time in battle, and they're replaced with average prosthetics. But in recent developments, they've been trying to create prosthetics that can enhance human limitations. Now, most prosthetics cannot operate better than an actual human limb can, but they're trying to develop this so soldiers can have a better chance in battle. They'll have faster speed, higher endurance, greater strength, greater jump height. They're just trying to basically create superhumans with these new prosthetics. Not so much superhumans, but they're trying to create advanced humans. So if you ever watched, if you ever played like Advanced Warfare, or when Black Ops 3 comes out, Black Ops 3, they have prosthetics because, well, in Advanced Warfare they don't have exosuits, but it's different. But these prosthetics can help them advance easier. It helps them be able to be a better soldier. They have greater strengths, they have greater abilities, they can be greater. Like, the reason you're able to jump so high, the reason you're able to move so fast, the reason you're able to have such strength, the reason you're able to endure so much is due to how your body reacts to things and how strong your body is. Now, exercise can help this too, but prosthetics is the fastest and easiest way to help this. Not to say you don't have to work out when you have prosthetics, because you still do. You have to adjust your body to the prosthetics, because if you don't, then your body's just going to be all stiff and you can't use the prosthetics as well. So, yeah, but there are different forms of prosthetics that you can add to humans, but that's more so transitioning into our next topic that we're going to talk about next week, because this is going to be a two-parter. So we'll continue this next time, and I'll talk about the new topic, which is going to be bionics, for those of you who want to know. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in and checking this episode out. Be sure to subscribe and post your suggestions down below on what topic I should talk about, not next week but the week after. And I'll be sure to check those out. Be sure to like this video and go tell your friends. Go, if you have any more questions, be sure to ask me. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. And yeah, that should be about it, guys. I'll see you guys next week. And sorry, Jesus, no dark matter today.